This is a recap of Thursday, October 8th. Today was a review day, so this recap won't take too long. What we started with was a demonstration of prime factorization, one that would help students with the Desmos activity that's due tomorrow. So we went to the prime factorization presentation, and we talked about that this is the prime number chart, and this is available to you at the Math 7 Resources Google Classroom. And all of the all of the orange numbers are prime numbers. So for example, 2 is prime, and 3 is prime, and 5 is prime. So these are the prime numbers. And these numbers are what get multiplied together to create all the other numbers. So prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, and so on. 1 is gray because some people disagree whether it is prime or not. Next, we did the prime factorization of 60. So I asked students a multiplication problem whose answer is 60, which the answer is 60. And so we could do, for example, 6 times 10. Somebody also suggested that we could have 60 is 3 times 15, or excuse me, 3 times 20, or 4 times 15. All of these are going to go to the same prime factorization because 6 is 2 times 3, 10 is 5 times 2. If we put these in order from smallest to largest, we get 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, and the same thing occurs here. I circle that because it's prime. 20 is 2 times 10, 10 is 2 times 5. So we again have 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, and the same thing will happen here. 4 is 2 times 2, 5 is 3 times 5. So that one happened to be in order, 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Whoops, and that should have been a 60. And it even works for very large numbers. So 864 happens to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So that was at the bottom of our tree. Here, let me do highlighting. So at the end of all the branches are the prime numbers. So that's when we stop, is when we get to a prime number on a prime factorization tree. And then we went back here side by side with the prime factorization or prime factors chart, and we tried a couple problems. So we'll just do, let's say, 75. So 75 is right here. Oops. It is not one of the prime numbers, so that means it's the multiplication of prime numbers. To get 75, we can do 3 times 25. 3 is a prime number, but 25 is not. So every time we hit one of these, we have to keep going. And 25 is 5 times 5. So it's 75 is equal to 3 times 5 times 5. So we end at prime numbers. And then these are all prime numbers. What you can do is go to the Google login in today's agenda. Let me get there. And you can click right here and give a check or a question mark, or you can even write a question on those 3 cards. We didn't really do this, but if you're watching this and you're trying to catch up, you should definitely go to the fraction quick check. And you get there like this. You go to you go to yesterday or the day before, and you go to the fraction quick check. You go here, and you log in, and you do the 6 problems, and you match them up. So, and then you can check to see if that's correct. Another thing that we did was we did a self-evaluation, so I want to show you that. This card right here, when you go to it in Pear Deck, it actually gives you a link to log in and check your grades on Student View. So check your grades, and then you're going to drag a check mark, and you're going to put a check mark. You don't have to write it, you can actually drag it, but I'm just going to draw it for you. So you're going to drag a check mark. If you need help in IXL, you might put it right here. If you don't need any, if you're doing well, you might put it right here, so maybe it goes kind of right there. And Google Classroom, everyone seemed to be doing well, but you can put it where you need to. Pear Deck, that's when we're able to write on the cards. Maybe you need a little bit of help there. Kami assignments, maybe if you need help, you put it over here. If you don't need help, you put it over here. This is just generally giving me feedback about how you're doing so far, and then Desmos activities as well. And then on the last page of this activity, you're going to just drag a bar somewhere along here. It's just a self-evaluation. So let me show you where that is. That is right here. So your self-evaluation, you click on this, log in, and complete that self-evaluation. And then we had some work time. So you could work on Kami, week 3 Kami. You could work on the fraction quick check. You could work on IXL. You work on the Desmos. Remember, come to, for extra help, come to Math 7 Resources Meet between 2 and 2:30 every day, or 8 and 8:30. That is the end of the recap.